In 2023, the global K-pop market was valued at over $10 billion. That is not a typo. A music genre that barely existed outside of South Korea 30 years ago now outsells most Western artists in their own home countries. And the story of how that happened is one of the most calculated, disciplined, and genuinely fascinating cultural takeovers in modern history. In the next 10 minutes, you are going to discover exactly how South Korea built a music empire from almost nothing, why K-pop is not just music but a full psychological system designed to create obsession, and the one strategy at the heart of it all that the Western music industry still refuses to copy, even though the data proves it works better than anything they have ever tried. Stay with us, because this story goes much deeper than you think. To understand K-pop, you have to go back to 1997. South Korea was hit hard by the Asian financial crisis. The economy collapsed almost overnight. The government lost billions, unemployment exploded, and national confidence was at an all-time low. But inside that crisis, something unexpected happened. The South Korean government made a decision that would change pop culture forever. They decided to invest heavily in cultural exports. Music, film, television, and entertainment would become strategic national assets. They called it the Korean Wave, or Hallyu. What started as an economic survival plan became the foundation of a global empire. The first generation of K-pop idols emerged in the mid-1990s, but it was groups like HOT, SES, and Sex Keys who proved the formula could work domestically. The real turning point came in the early 2000s when South Korean entertainment companies began exporting their artists to China and Southeast Asia. The response was enormous. People were hungry for something polished, energetic, and different from anything they had heard before. But here is what nobody talks about when they trace K-pop history. The system that made it successful was not built on raw talent. It was built on infrastructure. South Korean entertainment companies, especially the three giants known as SM Entertainment, YG Entertainment, and JYP Entertainment, essentially invented a new way to manufacture pop stars. And the word manufacture here is not an insult. It is literally accurate. Trainees as young as 10 or 11 years old sign with these agencies and enter a system that can last anywhere from 3 to 10 years before they ever perform publicly. During that time, they train in vocals, dance, language, acting, media presence, and fan interaction, sometimes 12 to 16 hours a day. The investment per trainee runs into hundreds of thousands of dollars. Most of them never debut. The ones who do have been refined to a level of performance precision that most Western artists never approach in their entire careers. By the time a K-pop group releases its first single, every detail has been calculated. The visual concept, the color palette, the choreography, the storytelling arc across multiple albums, the fashion direction, the fan engagement strategy. Nothing is accidental. This is not a band that formed in a garage. This is a product that was designed, tested, and engineered before it ever touched an audience. And that engineering extends to the fans themselves. K-pop created something the Western industry calls the parasocial relationship, but K-pop turned it into a science. Fan communities, called fandoms, are given official names, official colors, and official lightsticks. Artists write letters directly to fans, hold live streams where they cook meals or just talk, and release content so consistently that fans never feel disconnected. The emotional bond between a K-pop idol and their fanbase is unlike anything else in the entertainment world. It is not fandom. It is loyalty at a tribal level. Now here is where the numbers become impossible to ignore. BTS, the group that became the face of K-pop globally, generated an estimated $4.65 billion for the South Korean economy in 2019. Alone. A single BTS album release has historically crashed multiple e-commerce platforms simultaneously because of the volume of purchases happening at once. Their fan army, known as ARMY, has been directly credited with moving Korean tourism numbers, boosting South Korean beauty and fashion exports, and even influencing foreign policy conversations between governments. But BTS was not an overnight success. They debuted in 2013 under a small company called Big Hit Entertainment, which had almost no resources compared to the industry giants. They spent years building their following through social media, releasing behind-the-scenes content constantly, showing vulnerability and authenticity that was rare in the highly polished K-pop world. They wrote their own music. They spoke about mental health and personal identity. They connected with young people in a way that felt real even inside a system that was entirely constructed. That contradiction is exactly what made them unstoppable. By 2020, BTS became the first Korean act to top the Billboard Hot 100 with their song Dynamite. They performed at the United Nations. They addressed the General Assembly not once but multiple times. They became cultural ambassadors for a country that had used music as a weapon of soft power, and they proved that weapon was more effective than anyone had predicted. But BTS is only one piece of the larger story. Groups like Blackpink, EXO, Twice, Stray Kids, aespa, and New Jeans have each carved out massive global audiences. Blackpink became the first Korean group to headline Coachella in 2023, performing to one of the largest crowds in the festival's history. Their YouTube channel remains one of the most subscribed music channels on the entire platform. These are not niche successes. These are mainstream global dominance numbers. The digital era accelerated everything. K-pop groups understood YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, and streaming platforms earlier and more aggressively than most Western artists. Their management teams built content ecosystems around their artists. A comeback, which is what Koreans call a new release cycle, is not just a song drop. It is a weeks-long campaign involving concept photos, teaser videos, countdown content, fan challenges, and coordinated streaming parties. The Western industry still mostly relies on a single album drop and a few press appearances. K-pop treats every release like a military operation. And the physical album market is something Western labels gave up on years ago. K-pop kept it. Not just kept it, they reinvented it. Albums come in multiple versions with different photo books, photo cards, and collectible inserts. Fans buy all versions. Some buy dozens of copies just to increase chart positions or collect every possible photo card variation. In 2022, K-pop physical album sales exceeded 80 million units globally. The rest of the world's physical album market was shrinking. K-pop's was growing every single year. Here is the deeper implication that most people miss entirely. K-pop did not just conquer music. It rewrote the rules of what music is for. In the Western model, music is primarily an art form with commercial applications. In the K-pop model, music is the entry point to a complete identity-based ecosystem. The song is the hook. The fandom is the product. The relationship is the revenue stream. Artists become central to how fans understand themselves, express their values, and connect with other people around the world. That is not just entertainment. That is culture operating at its deepest psychological level. And South Korea designed all of it on purpose. The government continues to fund cultural export initiatives, the entertainment industry continues to refine its training systems, and a new generation of K-pop groups is already in development right now for audiences that do not even know they exist yet. The machine does not stop. It only gets more sophisticated. What began as an economic recovery strategy in 1997 is now one of the most powerful forces in global culture. South Korea took a calculated bet on creativity, invested in infrastructure, refused to accept the limits the world placed on them, and built something that the entire planet eventually could not look away from. That is not luck. That is vision executed at a national scale. And if you think this is as far as it goes, you have not been paying attention to what the next generation of Korean artists is already building. K-pop is not a trend. It is a blueprint.